Hey, welcome back. I'm Dave, and I'm going to be continuing on with my Avatar Legends solo game. Last time I played, I just figured out the locations of all of the various White Lotus members that Vaughn and Torli have to go warn, and discovered that none of them are actually very close to where they are. But I did make a game plan. We're going to go up here toward this Bossing Say area, and eventually make our way up here toward the Northern Air Temple, where there are one, if not two, White Lotus members there to mourn. And then after that, I tried to get some action going by having a random event. But instead of action, I got a new NPC who we're going to be traveling with for a little bit, apparently. Her name was Tia, and she's a rising sports star in whatever sport it happens to be that she plays. And she's on her way to Bossing Say, and we're on our way toward that general direction. So we're traveling together. And Vaughn decided not to tell her that he is the Avatar, which may or may not cause some problems because he's supposed to be training his firebending. And now he can't do that if he doesn't want anybody to know that he's the Avatar yet. I've got Tia added to my character list here. I've got Warren the White Lotus from the journal added on as a thread. So now I guess it is time for a new random event and hope that we get something interesting. I want to roll some dice. Let's see what our random event focus table is. Our result is 22. NPC action. All right, let's see. Here's my NPC. Let's see which NPC is going to take an action. Let's see, I need a D4. Here's my D4. And a D10. Now, rolled in the box. 1, 1. The White Lotus is taking an action. Okay, let's see what kind of action they are taking. Where is my... There it is. Actions. 09. Attain 36. Goal. They've attained their goal. Well, their goal was one thing. It was to find the Avatar. So now that they've attained their goal, that means that the word is going to get out. So despite Vaughn's best efforts, somebody from the White Lotus is spreading the word. And that White Lotus member is Ren Smith. I guess he didn't get the memo that Vaughn is not telling everybody yet that he's the Avatar. So I guess we'll find out what that means for Vaughn sometime in the future. So, of course, Vaughn and Torli don't know anything about Ren Smith going and running his mouth. So they're just going to go on continuing like they have been, now with Tia in the mix. I imagine they're still cautious around people as they're walking. But it does seem like Vaughn is kind of loosening up a little bit. Maybe having Tia to practice with and having something to do that's fun might be kind of helping to relieve his fears a little bit. One day while he is practicing, Torli is going to pull Vaughn off to the side out of earshot and have that serious talk with him. I am respecting your decision not to tell people that you're the Avatar, but you do need to train your firebending. Every day that you spend not practicing makes you that much less prepared to face what's coming. I think you at least need to tell Tia. I'm sure we could convince her to not say anything to anyone else. And that would give you an opportunity to practice firebending without worrying about her finding out. Vaughn will reply something like, "No, not yet. I don't want to do that yet. I'm actually enjoying myself right now. I've never felt like this in my life. Let me have this moment, at least for now. This is the first time in my life I've just been able to relax and enjoy myself without having to look over my shoulder, wondering whether I'm going to be the next to die or what I'm going to be made to do next. Just give me some time." So Torli replies again, "You will die if you are not prepared when the Red Lotus finds you. And believe me, they will. You must be prepared. And it is my duty to train you in firebending. If you're not going to tell her, then maybe we can sneak away in moments like this to just get some firebending practice in away from her or other prying eyes. Fine, we'll do it your way for now. We cannot neglect this training. And that's the end of that conversation. Vahn's going to go off and practice with Tia some more. Now, I did mention last time that Vahn might end up learning some kind of earthbending technique from helping Tia practice, and I did find one that fits the bill. This is from the book Uncle Iroh's Adventure Guide, and it is the earthbending technique Pack Earth. Lift stone and dirt into the air and pack it together as tightly as possible to create a super hard ball. Mark 1 fatigue, you may use strike next exchange with this ball no matter what approach you use. So I figure since Vahn is helping her practice, that she is also probably teaching him some moves for the sport, whether it's throwing the ball or kicking the ball or headbutting the ball or whatever they happen to be doing to the ball. He's also learning to use his earthbending with those techniques. So I figure this move here, it says it creates a ball. Well, that's probably a pretty good one to learn. So I'm going to be adding that to his character sheet as a learned technique. Not something he can immediately just use in combat yet, if we get to a combat in time, but it will become an option as we go. So I do want to come up with a description of Tia. I'll use some of these tables from the Mythic book. I think there's a few applicable tables here, so I'm just going to roll on a few of them and see what kind of person Tia is. Let's start with a character appearance. 41, that is heavy. That is not what I expected. I guess she is not exactly the athletic type. Maybe that's why she is unsure of herself and going to try out for this team. Because she's not your typical athletic build. That'd be normal for this kind of sport. Let's roll one more time and see if there's anything else. Oh, 26 is elegant. So that tells me she comes from a more high society. Maybe she's expected to be attending balls and banquets rather than playing with balls on the field. So now I'm kind of picturing her as younger. Not as young as Vahn, not a teenager per se, but maybe very young adult, old enough to make her own decisions. Maybe she sort of ran away, as it were, from her parents' house and is now going to try to live out her dream. This was completely unintentional, but this is actually starting to sound a little bit like Toph, a prim and proper little rich girl who likes to fight earthbenders for money. Let's see if there's any more tables here I want to roll on. The character background, but I think I just figured that out. I'll go ahead and roll on this character descriptors once. 12, arrogant. So she knows she's the best, but she just doubts that they would let someone like her from her background on the team. I think that's good enough for descriptions for now. So now let's do something with that random event from earlier. I want to say they come to a small settlement. Maybe they run across like an inn or something on the path, and they're going to stop for the evening. And they're going to go inside and order a meal and sit down. Vahn and Torley are basically just going to try to mind their own business. But Tia's going to be sitting there talking about previous matches where she just completely annihilated her opponents. And nobody's better than her, and they'll be making a big mistake if they don't let her on the team. And they're all going to overhear somebody at another table saying something like, "Hey, did you hear? They said the Avatar's been found close to Assad." "Oh, Assad, you say? I hear the Red Lotus is running amok there. Maybe the Avatar can finally get rid of them for good." And the other first guy will say, oh, no, no, the Red Lotus will eat him alive. If they find the Avatar in Red Lotus country, well, he doesn't stand a chance. And these two guys will go off back and forth, one defending the Avatar and one defending the Red Lotus. Vahn will turn toward Torlee and whisper, I don't know that I feel safe here right now. Torlee will whisper back, it's okay. Stay calm. Nobody knows. So does Tia notice this little exchange? Let's roll a fate chart and find out. I'm still going to be Chaos Factor 4, so 50-50 is at 35% or less. 24, yes, she does hear this little exchange. Like, hey, what are you whispering about? Have you heard anything about the Avatar being back? Kind of feel like she would be admirable of it. Like, she was impressed by Vaughn's earthbending previously, so I think she'd even be that much more impressed by somebody who can bend all four elements. Yeah, I think she would be. I would love to see somebody bend all four elements at once. That would be just amazing, like even more amazing than you, Vahn, making that ball out of the earth. Oh, that would be so cool. The Avatar could make an earth ball and then light it on fire? That would be amazing. And Vahn will shrug. Yeah, that would be awesome to see. And Tia will go on. Hey, you guys came from the Isad region, didn't you? Do you know who it is? Torlee will interject here. It could be anyone. No use speculating on it right now. Let's finish our meal and get some sleep. Got another long day of traveling tomorrow. He's going to shut that conversation down right there. I'm assuming everybody's going to have their own separate rooms right now. Or at least the boys and the girl will have separate rooms. This would be an excellent opportunity for Vahn and Torlee to sneak off in the middle of the night to go practice their firebending. So I'm just going to assume here that there's somewhere they can go that's kind of hidden from view. Does anyone see them sneaking out? I don't guess they would necessarily have to be sneaking, but does anyone see them nonchalantly making their way out of their room to some secluded area? Let's call this 50-50. 15 is yes. Is it Tia? Is it Tia that sees them sneaking out of the room? Let's call this likely. It's going to be at 50%. 85. No, okay, it's not Tia. But somebody does. You know what? I bet it's one of the two guys talking at the table. Talking about the Avatar coming back, and one guy was siding with the Avatar and one guy siding with the Red Lotus. So I'm not going to roll for that. I'm just going to say that's one of those is who sees them. I guess both of them are staying at this inn as well. And this guy, whichever one it is, will hear the footsteps or the doors creak or whatever as Vahn and Torlee are making their way out. And this guy's going to peek out the door and see them sneaking off somewhere. Let's figure out which one of them it is. Odds for evens. Odd is going to be the guy siding with the Red Lotus, and evens is going to be the guy siding with the Avatar. It is the guy siding with the Red Lotus. So he is going to follow them. So I think at this point I'm going to give Vahn an opportunity to learn a firebending technique. I probably should have rolled for him learning the earthbending technique earlier, but I just kind of gave it to him. I will roll to see if he is able to learn a firebending technique. So let me look one up real quick that would be appropriate to learn at this stage. So I think I found a move that I want him to try to learn. He's already got moves for the defend and maneuver and advance and attack stances. So I think I'm going to try to get him to learn one for the evade and observe stance. And that is going to be jet stepping. That's what I want him to try to learn. So let's go and make the move. the training move to see if he can actually learn it right now. So this one does not roll with any of his normal stats, but there are conditions that could add +1 or -1 to the total. Is your balance in line with your center, or are you free of conditions? Yes, and not at center, but he is free of conditions. Do you and your teacher share at least one background? That's a no, because we've already determined that from previously. Does your teacher agree with your reasons for the training and learning? That's yes. Is the technique easy to grasp based on your current training, experience, and skills? I don't know that it wouldn't be easy. So out of all that, just getting a +1 to the roll. Get my D10s. I actually need D6s. All right, looking for a 7 or better. 10 + 1, 11. On a hit, you learn the technique, and your master shifts your balance. On a 10 plus, you learn it with ease, and it takes as little time as possible. So all of Torlei's worrying about Vahn not getting his practice in was for naught, because he is able to just pick this up with ease and get it like on the first or second try. So I will be adding jet stepping to his character sheet, as well as the other move that I can't remember the name of now. Be adding those to his sheet. And Torlei does get to shift Vaughn's balance. So I'm keeping up with the character sheet digitally here. Shift his balance. Here toward the reinvention, because in learning a firebending technique, he is now one step closer to becoming the Avatar. But I've still got to deal with this guy who is spying on them, and there is no doubt in my mind that he is going to be going to tell somebody from the Red Lotus that we're here, and that is bad news. Vahn and Torlei are practicing firebending and learning this technique in behind a hill somewhere, or I guess Vahn could just like earthbend a big hole in the ground for them to practice. So even if somebody did happen to walk by, they would not necessarily even see them practicing. This guy who's following them peers over the edge of this hole that they're practicing in and sees Vahn jumping up into the air with these fire blasts coming out of his bare feet, which is odd because Vahn is dressed in Earth Kingdom clothes, and being barefoot, that's typical of Earthbenders. This guy will sit there and watch them for a little while until they get done with their practice, and Torlei will pat Vahn on the back. Well done. You caught on to that much faster than I anticipated, but don't get smug. Just because you've learned that doesn't mean you're ready to use it. Vahn will give him a smile. Yeah, you're just jealous you couldn't get it that fast. Torlei will smile back. Yeah, just fix this hole back the way it was. And Torlei will start to climb out. Or I guess Vahn will just make some stairs. And Torlei can just walk out up the stairs. And that is what the guy is going to see. Like this guy who was just firebending is now also earthbending. And a big mischievous grin comes over his face as he slinks away from the edge of that hole in the ground to try to find somebody he can go tell. So are there any Red Lotus members here in the immediate area? Well, basically, are they going to have to fight their way out now, or is it going to take some time for any Red Lotus members that he's able to contact? Is it going to take them time to get here? In which case, we can already be out of the way further down the road before they get here, but then be hot on our trails. Let's roll to see if anybody's here. This is going to be 50-50, so this is a 35 to 49, so nobody is here right now. So we are safe at the moment. Or are we? Is this guy going to confront Vahn in the morning? I think that's unlikely. I don't think he's going to do that. I don't think that he's in the Red Lotus himself. I think he just thinks that the Red Lotus is right. So let's go ahead and roll anyway. So unlikely is a 25% chance of a yes at a chaos factor 4. And that's a 24. So yes, as unlikely as that was, he does confront Vahn in the morning. So Vahn, Torley, and Tia all meet up in the common room area to get some breakfast. Vaughn's pretty proud of himself, I would imagine. He learned a fire bending technique, and he's feeling pretty good right now. And they're sitting down to eat their breakfast when Tia speaks up and says, "Hey, that guy from yesterday, he's staring over here at us." And Vahn and Twirly will kind of turn and look toward him, and the guy will turn back away like he wasn't looking at all. The three traveling companions will get up and head out. And this guy's going to get up and follow them out. Come up behind Vahn, put a hand on his shoulder. Vahn will turn around and look at him. "I know who you are. I saw what you did. And I've sent word to the Red Lotus. They're coming for you." Torley will turn around, grab the man's arm, and drag him off to the side around. "I don't know what you think you saw, but get your hand off of him." And Tia's off to the side. "What's going on?" The guy's going to say, "Oh, I saw your boy here, earthbending and firebending. You know what that makes him, right? The Avatar." Tia will have this shocked, surprised look on her face and stare at Vahn. Torley and Vahn look at each other, eyes wide. Vahn with this terrified look of, "What do we do?" Torley's going to grab him by the arm and drag him around to the side of the building. "What did you do?" "Oh, I sent a message out. Red Lotus is coming for you. Mark my words." Vahn looks at Torley again and actually says out loud this time, "What do we do?" The guy will say, "Oh, you can leave, but I'm just going to tell him which way you went." And Torley will say, "Make a hole. There, now." Pointing to a spot on the ground, he drags the guy over to it, deep enough that he can't get out of. And Vahn will push the earth underneath the man's feet down, and the man falls into a hole in the ground. And Tia, with this shocked look still on her face, like, "You actually are the Avatar?" Torley walks back over to her. "We have to go," pointing to himself and Vahn. "We have to go now. I suggest you come with us. They know that you were with us and you're going to be in danger. We have to go now. We have to stay off the road." And I don't know that Tia's going to recognize the danger immediately. She's just going to be completely excited. "You're the Avatar? Awesome! I want to see you waterbend." And the three of them are going to take off away from the inn, still in the direction of Ba Sing Se, but they're going to have to take a more indirect route. And I think that is where we are going to end for right now. So I'll tell you, after the random prompt last time that got Tia added as an NPC, and the other random prompt this time that got the word of the Avatar out on the streets, so to speak, I was kind of not thinking that very much was going to happen, but I feel like kind of a lot happened and in a hurry. And things just got, well, dire may not be the right word just yet, but they got interesting. But anyway, that is where I'm going to stop for now. And thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye.